it is a blessing. It is a gift to be here and to be doing what I'm doing. And I think what I'm here to teach is that, like, do not take life too seriously, be grateful, be respectful, and be respectful of those who came before you. Because without those people who came before you, you would not be where you were today. Before you learned how to paint your little face, there was drag queens kicking it in the club, and you sat there and you learned for them. So they paved the way, and we're just on the road driving. So thanks to them.
Thank you, Tina.
That's beautiful. That's great. Utica, I'd love to go to you. I was interested to learn, about your religion. Being a Seventh Day Adventist. I'm interested in what sort of role religion plays in your everyday life, if it does at all.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. Yes, I grew up a Seventh Day Adventist, which, yeah, it's, my mom converted from Lutheranism to Seventh Day Adventist because she believed that what they were preaching about the Bible and what it meant was very important, and it gave great morals and a great little mold for life. And so I was raised with all of those teachings, and I felt like whenever I was feeling down, or whenever I was doubting myself, even being a gay, I was like, oh dear. I found that having a connection with something, whether that be God, whether that be just a higher power, that really felt like it kept me safe, and it kept me it kept me feeling like I was loved and I could get through these crazy times. And I believe for a long time that I wasn't able to make a religion and homosexuality work. I was taught that way. And as I grew older and researched it for myself, experienced other religions and whatnot, I found that I was able to make both of them work, and I could have the support system of the holiness that be, and these feelings that I'm not alone, and to keep that loneliness at bay, but also be my gayest self and make it in this big craft and share my art and share my praise for that higher power as a thank you through my art and through a smile and through that joy and through my community. I think religion plays a big part in what I have to do as an artist. It fuels me. It helps me be my best self I could possibly imagine, so I could praise the powers that be.
That's fascinating. That's so interesting to hear about. We never hear about, religion and drag coming together in that way. Ladies, I would love to open it up a little bit more. I can't imagine when you sent in tapes for RuPaul's Drag Race season 13 that you could have imagined what the world would be like while you were filming. So what was it like to experience that, elation of knowing that you were going to be on the show, and then that kind of uncertainty maybe to know that filming was going to be, in addition to the craziness that every new season of Drag Race inevitably is, that filming is going to be, affected in this way because of the pandemic. I'll start with Kahmora, if that's okay.
Well, I was just more worried about, like, is this worth putting like my money into? Because I was, when I got the call, I was on the show. Yes, I was excited, but I mean, we're in a freaking pandemic. A lot of people are unemployed, including me. It's like, do I take this risk? Do I take this chance? But I'm glad I did, obviously. So that was like my biggest kind of like worry. Like, will this all be worth it in the end? But like I said, I'm so glad that I did it. It was the greatest experience I ever had, and I do it again in a heartbeat.
I'll go to Tina.
No. So there is that weirdness. So I guess we had been in quarantine for so long at that point. Being from New York City, we had seen really, really, really intense, hard times of it very quickly. And I knew many people that got sick and people that had passed away. And it was almost hard to be happy at first, because you think of everything that's going on and you must feel guilty for being happy, because you're like, there's so much going on in the world and you want to be so excited. And I have worked and worked and worked for this, So like, I was so excited to do it, but also like, I love a challenge, and I love to see if I can push myself to another level. And that's what I've done in my career. So to be in a situation where I knew it was going to be so hard to like push even more to get everything ready and to do everything was just like, I love a good challenge. And I knew I would be safe and well taken care of. So I was just excited to see people. I just wanted to talk to people. I was done talking to my dogs. I was done screaming at my iPhone behind a ring light in my living room. I was ready to get out. So I just signed up because I knew I could see people, and that's why I went.
Makes sense to me.
Utica?
Oh my goodness. Hello. Hi. I'm from Utica, Minnesota. No, it was really tough. I didn't know that Drag Race was going to happen. I was like, wow, during the COVID times, that's crazy. I didn't expect it to like for it to take off even like as like a little gift throughout all this craziness. I was with the whole like Drag Race experience. I was really worried to come. I felt like my attention was needed elsewhere. I come from the hotspot city, like the movement blossomed in Minneapolis, and I got the call throughout the chaos, and it was really tough. I was torn between do I stay and support as much as I possibly can, or do I balance that and get ready for one of the biggest career opportunities I could possibly imagine. I through all the conversations and all the advice from others, I came to the conclusion that I was able to take as much as that experience and bring it to the big stage. And this is my time. I got a voice now, and if I'm able to use it for the greater good, I want to. I may have forgotten most of the question, but yeah.
No, it's a good. You answered the question. That was good. You know,
I believe that.
yeah. Something that Sam and I have been enjoying asking all of the queens, because we've been getting a lot of interesting answers to, is this. You know, it plays into what we're sort of talking about now, but with COVID, it has been such a terrible time for so many queer spaces, clubs, theaters, these places where drag queens live and thrive and work. I'm curious to get an answer from all three of you about any level of concern about just the future of drag moving forward, or maybe drag as we knew it. How do you see drag evolving, you know, as we move forward here? And are you concerned at all about the future of drag as an art form? Kahmora, I would love to start with you.
Ooh, that's a heavy question. Trying to think. No, I think, you know, with anything, you know, we have to adapt when things change. So like, I'm just trying to think, like, I don't think we're gonna be seeing like packed clubs in the near future like we used to anymore. And you know, like that was my safe space as well. Like whenever I would leave my 9-to-5 job, get in the gig, go to the club, be able to like perform and kind of grab the tips from people and touch their hand and like personally say thank you. Like that's where I live the most, and like I love that personal connection. And you know, that's how I like to perform. And so because this pandemic, like a lot of it has moved on to like digital drag now, which even now is kind of like a dying art form, you know? And so I'm not, to be honest, I'm not really sure where drag is gonna go, but you know, I think that's kind of the fun of it. Like, let's just see where it takes us, you know?
Sure.
And you know, one thing that gay people are really good at is adapting. So I'm ready to see what the next art form is for drag queens, and I'll be the first one to do it.
I love that. Tina, how about you?
I think, listen, drag is political, and drag is a movement. It's always been a movement since, you know, the bricks were thrown at Stonewall, you know what I mean? Since like drag queens take action. There's nothing more than we thrive to use our voice for change. And during like a pandemic like this and everything, I'm not so worried that is drag gonna come back, because if we proved from anything, I mean, just like Tina Burner, you know, you a phoenix, rising from the ashes. And I'm gonna tell you what, drag in times like this, laughter is needed. Laughter is the one thing that we can do. You know, it's the one thing as drag queens, we can take you out of that horrible day you're having, and we can make you laugh and forget for a minute. And like, of course, you always have to remember what's going on around us. But I think as we see it, as we come out of this, drag is going to be the most important it's ever been. And I'm like truly honored and blessed to be on a season when we're seeing a new change in government. You know what I mean? To be able to put those 4 years behind us, you know, to support, you know, and to have in such a movement for people of color and just to like, it's such an exciting time to be a drag queen. It's such an exciting time to have this voice. And so, yeah, you can't hold us down, Hanny. And listen, I'm going to be able to grab your dollar bill, but my Venmo will be up on a screen. So don't try it, okay? Don't try it. And like, so I think by the time like, you know, the season airs and things start to open and the vaccine, and I think we will see things start to slowly open. There will be restrictions, but I think it's going to give it a chance for drag to be so much more intimate. And that's the thing, like with clubs packed in and like this, maybe your tables, maybe they're spread away, but I can take that time now to get to know a crowd more than I got to know before. So me personally, that's what I love about it. And I listen, if I got to be on the highway doing some things, you know, to make some money, I am dressed and ready to go.
You'll make it.
And make it work, you know.
All right, Utica, how about you? How do you see the future of drag?
Oh my goodness, I see it blossoming like no one has seen it before. Like it, if you think about history, like with how movements of arts were created. They were created through these huge periods of like plagues, that shared trauma, like a Gothic architecture was just blossomed after the plagues. You know, like people had that time to stay in and face this terrible, crazy world and create the most of it and create this beautiful art form afterwards. I see drag just getting so much better, and the performance is just getting miraculous and filled with stories upon stories and that people can relate to. COVID has forced us to be inside and to mull over our feelings and really like grow inside. And I think that like that shared experience is going to just blossom the art form. There's going to be drag everywhere. People are going to be hungry for it. And I feel so honored to be like a part of that.
Well, ladies, we think you are miraculous right now. We are so happy that we got to speak with you a little bit and see these fire looks. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Yeah, fire looks. I'm looking at you. Thanks, Tina.
What about me?
And Kahmora and Utica, you're all fire.
Looking at the three of you right now just is what makes Drag Race so great, right? I mean, you're all doing the same thing, but the three of you looking at you right now could not be more wholly unique, you know? And I think that you know, this season, I think exemplifies that, and I can't wait to see it. Anyway, sorry.
But I'm the prettiest, right?
I've been looking at my
I will vote for that.
That's what I want to know. I just want to know that.
Tina's like, yeah.
There's no argument here.